So, what's your name?
Julian.
I'm Sean Hadpenny.
My name is Justin Hooker.
My name is Smith.
Jared Rodriguez.
My name is Danny Dignan.
Okay, my name is Jeremy.
We play video games.
I started playing games when I was about probably 6 or 7 years old, like
I say 8, since I was 8.
14 years.
When I was 6.
The earliest I can remember was when I was like 2. My sisters played a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog, and so I started to play it, and then I started to get good at it, and I just kept playing games.
Probably since like 4th grade.
That'd be like 13 years for me or something. Probably when I was 5 or 6, I had a Game Boy.
12 years ago?
Like 17 or 18 years.
Well, I'm turning 25, so that would be 18 years.
What would you say the origins of gaming culture started from?
Entertainment.
I think the internet probably had a lot to do with that.
From those like cell phone games like Snake.
Well, one of the first games was Pong. So that it was on the first computers, like programming was all new and everything, and the guy decided to make a game. That's gaming as we know it. But since chess, any game that has a strategic or decision making to it, it's a game. All the board games are the beginning to it.
Most people who started playing games were in the early 90s. That was when the gaming boom hit, and kids of my generation who were born in the early 90s grew up as video games started developing and becoming more popular. So now that people of that generation that grew up with games have now become adults, and that they greatly influence the internet and all of the mainstream media.
Right.
And so many people, teenagers and young adults, play video games, and it's become a subculture in our community.
What do you think are some stereotypes for a gamer?
Lives with her mom in the basement.
Lazy,
Introverted kid.
weak,
No friends.
procrastinator.
Jobless.
Living in your basement.
He's the nerdy kid that doesn't talk to anybody outside of his own way of life.
Well, the gaming stereotype when I was growing up was an antisocial nerd that was overweight and had hundreds of acne and didn't have any friends, girlfriends, and he was a total loser.
Right.
That's the way gamers were viewed when I was growing up. Now gamers are like popular culture. They like everybody likes them. Everybody plays games. Girls, every time there's more girls playing games, and hot girls to that. If you look hot girls gaming on YouTube, you're gonna find thousands of channels of just girls showing cleavage and playing video games and guys fapping to it. So I'm not a fan of it because they're usually horrible at the games. And if I'm gonna watch somebody play a game, I want him to be good and me to say, damn, that guy is really, or that girl is really good. There are really good gamers, girl gamers, don't misunderstand that, but most of them, if you look up, they're not really great.
It's kind of like well known within the gaming community that it's mostly populated by guys, and it's kind of like a guy-dominated world. But there has been more and more female integration within the community.
Age groups would be teens, around that area. I think it can even go up to like the 30s, around there.
It's mostly males, and it's upper teens and people in their 20s.
Males, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, there's definitely a gaming community. It's gotten a lot bigger in the last like 10, 15 years.
I'm probably right now most closely associated with the fighting game community and the speedrunning community.
YouTube, Twitch. Twitch is just like online videos, like YouTube, but for gaming.
Well, we go to tournaments, which I would say are pretty much gaming conventions. Once a year I try to go to, last year I went to a big tournament called Evo, which is, actually I have a shirt for it. That's kind of like that's the equivalent of the Super Bowl for fighting games. Like,
I think esports is the future. AAA games, which are what they call, that's the denomination they use to call the high budget games that use millions and millions of dollars, huge teams, years of development, all that. I think that's going down because they're not even that good anymore. In the storytelling, the creative part of it has gone down because they're only focused in profit. and there's been a surge in free-to-play games, like League of Legends. I mean, League of Legends is the biggest esport at the moment. Esport is electronic sport, and they filled the Staples Center with millions of viewers, and the winners of that tournament made $2 million. So I mean, there's money there, and there's an audience. So, and it's the highest level of competitive gaming. So I think that's really where the future is going towards. Even the US already declared League of Legends a game similar to sports. So people from China, Europe, anywhere in the world can get a work visa to play that game here in the US. So that's something I mean, when I grew up, my parents were always saying, like, you can't live off of video games, playing video games, and now you can. So
Yeah, exactly.
so yeah, I mean, it's like sports. Not everybody makes it, but there's the dream that lots of kids have now. So I think that's where it's going to.
If you're gonna go to one tournament and you're good, like Evo is where you need to go. There is, I think, like 12,000 entrants altogether or something. It's crazy.
They're fun. I've participated in a league tournament once.
Like, I can't sit in my room and play games all day. Like, part of why I love going to tournaments is because it's like I get to get out of the house. You know, I'll have.
And even if you're not actively playing when you're at a tournament, like you're in the area with everybody else who's playing the game that you entered for.
Also, spectating is a huge part of it. Like, you know, if I go and I get bodied, you know, I fight 2 really good players in a row. And
What does bodied mean?
Body? Okay. By body, that just mean like I got destroyed in my.
Like if somebody a lot stronger and more powerful than you slammed right into you, they just bodied you.
Yeah.
OP.
What is that?
OP means overpowered. When someone does something that's really cool, maybe you can say, like, OP!
The inside joke that just is universal in the fighting community is when somebody is salty. And that just means that they're really mad that they lost.
Trolling, another word too. Trolling is when you basically just mess with other people. Yeah.
I'm the troll.
Like, GG.
Good game. So when you say good game, is that something finished? It doesn't matter if you won or lost. The match is finished. So Jeremy says, "Oh, I crashed my car today." GG.
Good game.
People say noob, and it's like a term for like new people.
That's it. Well, there's many more. It's kind of similar to text lingo. Anything that would be abbreviated is widely used in gaming chat rooms.
Alright, cool. So Justin, how has video games impacted your life?
Well, I've been a gamer since I was really young. Like, I started playing PlayStation when I was around 3 or 4, because they had it at my house. And so, like, pretty much when I would go, or I was at home all the time because I wasn't in school then, so I was just always playing video games, like, since I was a little kid. That's, like, my main hobby. That's what I do.
How much money do you think you spend on games?
Oh. So.
Sore subjects.
Yeah, there was a little bit of stuff going on with that one.
So as long as you have money to buy some sort of technology to play games, you're fine.
PlayStation 4.
PlayStation 1, PS2, PS3,
Neo Geo Pocket.
GameCube,
Gizmondo.
For the PC.
Xbox.
Game Boys,
Sega Genesis.
Game Boy Color, Advance, SP, DS.
Nintendo GameCube.
That nails it. Yeah.
PS Lite.
No, I'm not that guy.
Socially, it's more of an enhancer socially, because
But the gamers that I play with are all gangsters.
Socially, it's bringing me lots of really cool things. All my best friends, essentially, I got to know because of video games. Or we bonded at the beginning because of video games. Halo was like really, really big at the time. And Halo 2 just came out. And so I started talking with a random guy from the classroom. And he was like, "Oh, so you like Halo?" And I was, "Yeah, I like Halo. You like Halo?" "Yeah, okay. I have a group of friends and my brothers that play Halo. I bet I can beat your group of friends." And he was like, "No, you can't." So we started doing matches of 4v4 in Halo with 2 Xbox and 2 televisions. Ordered pizzas, ate junk food, and had fun. Insulted each other.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was like going to play a basketball match with your friends, but instead of playing basketball, it was playing Halo. And so the smack talk and everything was there. Everything you see in regular sports or activities between a group of friends. And I met my first girlfriend because of video games also.
I actually think games helped me. It made me more like social in a sense because it helped me talk to people.
Yeah, it brings people together, you know?
Right now, I really only play League of Legends very once in a while. My quantity of hours of playing video games have dropped since, like, every year it has been dropping.
Why is that?
I have other stuff I want to do. I don't know, if a big passion for reading now. So it's since those two are like almost, you have to decide certain hours for entertainment, I guess. Like either you watch TV, either you play video games, or either you read. So lately I've been going towards reading. That is, but physically it hasn't given me anything.
Except for DDR.
But I never played that much. I have a friend that played Dance Dance Revolution, what Jeremy said, DDR.
Yeah.
And he was this chubby, really chubby kid. And he has been skinny since. I mean, he lost all his weight just because he played hours and hours and hours of DDR. So that gave him physically a lot, I guess.
Educationally impacts it quite negatively.
Well, the joke I've always said is that, which is not really a joke, it's almost true, is that I learned lots. I've always liked history, but I always learned more history from Age of Empires than at school. Maybe my school sucked, which it did, but that's true. I learned more history from Age of Empires, playing the campaign of Genghis Khan, Joan of Arc, all those people. I actually made an oral report when I was in high school about why Genghis Khan was the greatest conqueror of all times and not Alexander the Great.
Well, they take away from my education.
If you're in your make-believe world, if you're at the playground, like, you'll pretend you're Mario, you'll pretend you're going and catching Pokemon, you're going on a Pokemon adventure with your friends or whatever. And when I think about the fact that, you know, I would run like Sonic, or I would pretend I was Mario or something, like, I can see that translating into Grand Theft Auto or, you know, violent games. I can see that translating into that with children. And that is concerning to me, but I also think that we know that that's fantasy. I think there's a definite differentiation between what is fantasy and what is reality.
I've said this already, but it's just like they're, you know, everyday people who, you know, they have other parts of their lives. It's just this is, you know, a very big one to them. And I don't think that there's absolutely anything wrong with that. Like, I don't think that games are the direct cause of, you know, people who, you know, are procrastinating or are struggling somewhere in their life. But I certainly think that people can use them as an escape if, you know, something terrible is going on, or, you know, you're depressed or this and that and that. I mean, people use that as an outlet.
If you're interested in video games, like, you know, go out and try it. Like, there's plenty of free games out there to just, like, try.
If you just play gaming casually and you have fun, good. Like, that's what it's all about.
Well, I just recently quit gaming.
Why is that?
Well, because it was bringing down my academics and my personal goals. So I saw it as a hoop for me to go over. Since I played games so long in my life, it was so natural for me to just pick up a game and spend a couple hours in a day playing. But now that I'm in college, I see that games won't really take me anything. Every time that I spend gaming is time wasted in my eyes. So I'm making an effort to stop playing games.
I think there should be a limit, honestly. It is a big waste of time sometimes. But if you want to play games, go play games, dude. The hell, who cares what anybody else says? It's what you want to do.
Games are fun, but all with moderation, right? So that's basically it. Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes. That's another thing video games give to you. I mean, you fell off a cliff. In real life, you would die. But here you can learn how not to fall off of that cliff and you retry. So lose that fear of failing and just try, but in your goals in life.